Hey y'all, my Riacom here again. Thanks for being here to listen to me ramble about stuff. You're gonna have to forgive any sweatiness you notice. I just took an after work walk and it's pretty warm. It's in the 80s today. And pretty humid. And realistically, I probably should have worn a mask or something because I think the air quality is not the best, and I have asthma, and that is something that does affect it. It's not affected very often, but that is something that does tend to affect it, so probably should have worn a mask while I was walking, but I didn't think about it. I would have been even hotter if I had done that, so whatever. I'm sure I'll survive. I might just have to use my inhaler after a little while. But anyway, what can I say? It's probably going to be a short one. I didn't have the best of days today, and not for any particular reason. Nothing happened that was bad or anything. It just has been one of those, like, everything seems pointless kind of days. One of those kinds of days where you're just like, why am I doing any of this? One of those kinds of days where, you know, you wonder what the direction of your life is and why anything matters and that sort of thing. I did not get a real good chance to talk to my administrative assistant coworkers about my preferred pronouns today. I'm really struggling with, like, how do I even bring that up? Because, it would have to, like, come up in conversation, right? So, and how do you make that come up in conversation without forcing the conversation? I'm just not good at that. I don't want to make, like, I don't know. I also don't want to make other people uncomfortable. And that's stupid because then I just have to constantly be uncomfortable. And how fair is that to me? So I gotta just get over it and be willing to make everybody else uncomfortable. Or potentially make them uncomfortable. I don't even know that it would happen. So, I mean, I am assuming it will happen for some of them because of their other beliefs and such. But, there's a little part of me that struggles with, like, my, like, department is cool about it, but I'm not totally sure that, like, the overarching department is okay with it, is, like, cool with me, like, saying anything. I don't know. Realistically, it shouldn't matter, but because I work for a university that receives federal funding, we have to kind of be careful right now and all that fun stuff. So, I assume it's fine, but no one has told me up until this point that it's not okay, that I need to not talk about that or anything like that. So, I'm assuming it's all fine, but, whatever. Who cares? I mean, it should matter, but I just gotta work up the gumption to do it. Maybe tomorrow. Nope, it can't be tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm working from home. Maybe Thursday, then. Friday, there might not be a lot of people there. That tends to happen a lot, especially in the summer. So, who knows? But, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any fun queer stuff to talk about today. I know I said I was going to try and do that, but yeah, so that's something I could talk about, I suppose. I'm just not really feeling it today. Like I said, I'm not having the best mental health day. That happens a lot. And it's been happening a lot lately because the world just kind of sucks and all of that. And then, I really, really want to mention to the other administrative assistants that I would prefer that they don't, call me a lady and all of that kind of stuff. Like, I've never liked it. It's just, like, hitting harder now that I'm trying to be more open and upfront about my preferred pronouns and my gender identity and all of that. It's hitting a little harder whenever people include me in a group and say, hey, ladies, or whatever. It's just hitting harder. So, I need to say something about it for my own well-being, but as I have mentioned in previous recordings, I am kind of a baby about that kind of stuff. I was raised to think that my preferences and my opinions do not matter, and you should always try and do things for other people, and other people's comfort should always matter more than your own. That's how I was raised, and getting out of that is really, really hard. So, It doesn't help that the few times in life I have tried to do things for me and make like big steps for just myself, I feel like it has not necessarily that in itself has backfired, but that like other things have happened where if you believe in like karma or fate or something like that, it feels like the universe is like, nope, that's not allowed. So, oh, like it gets tough, and I'm struggling with it. I'm gonna be totally upfront and honest about that. I have been talking about it on here a lot, sharing with all of you my gender identity and the fact that I'm like trying to be more open about it and all of that, but it is hard. It's hard on a daily basis with people I am pretty sure, maybe I'm not being fair, but I'm pretty sure would have a problem with it based on other things they've said. And it shouldn't matter to me what they say behind my back, but that has always mattered to me, unfortunately. As I've mentioned in previous recordings, I've been bullied since kindergarten and went to a small school, so it kind of really mattered. It meant that I had pretty much no friends throughout elementary school, and I was always worried about what people were saying behind my back because I knew for a fact people were saying stuff behind my back because I was bullied. I knew it was happening. So it's like a thing I constantly worry about, and I'm still trying to work on that. I was gonna try and do therapy, but now with this like large washer and dryer expense, I really don't think I can afford it for probably at least a few more months. Maybe longer, it depends on what else happens in life. So it just kind of depends, and gonna have to push therapy off for a little while longer. I do get some free sessions through work, but it's not a lot of them, and it's probably not enough to make a difference. So I don't want to start something that I can't finish, that I can't follow through on because I can't afford it. So I am waiting until I know I can afford it. I know that makes me a weird person in today's day and age because lots of people just want what they want now. I am very much the kind of person who doesn't want to be in debt up to my eyeballs for the rest of my life. So I really try not to like pay for things I can't afford. I don't want to take out loans for things unless I absolutely have to. That kind of stuff. Which, I mean, it's why I had money for the washer and dryer that I needed to get, but also like why I don't have money for anything else right now, because I want to refill that emergency fund so that if something else comes up that's an emergency, then I can deal with it. But anyway, so getting back on track, that means therapy probably won't happen for a while, which means like I'm gonna have to keep dealing with this annoying thing where it's hard for me to do the things that I know I need to do that are good for me because I worry about everyone else and what everyone else is thinking and how everyone else will react and that sort of thing. I'm trying. I'm really trying, and it is really hard. Life is really hard just generally lately, which means all of this, like, probably, I mean, in my mind, this is not fair, and it shouldn't be, but in my mind, it's kind of trivial. Like, is it gonna kill me if people keep misgendering me? No. It's not gonna kill me. Does it suck every time it happens? Yeah. But is it gonna kill me? No. So, here are a couple of things that I'm going to just point out and mention. I have my preferred pronouns in my email signature. I acknowledge a lot of people probably don't read that. I have my preferred pronouns in my Zoom profile. Like, I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with Zoom. I assume a lot of people are, but I know that's a bad assumption because not everyone is going to be. A lot of people use it for business and things like that, but that doesn't mean everyone and their mother uses it. People who don't use it for work probably don't necessarily use it a lot. So, in Zoom, when you have like your picture or whatever, or either your profile picture or your video or whatever, if you have like multiple screens up at a time, it's a meeting or something like that, it usually displays your name, and you can also have your preferred pronouns in parentheses after your name. I always have it show my preferred pronouns. So anyone who is in a Zoom call with me or a meeting or whatever, even if we're not talking to each other, theoretically they see that. So the point I am making with this is that the other administrative assistants that I work with, I've been in meetings with them, in Zoom meetings with them, and so they should have seen that. Again, it is on my, like, in my email signature, so they should have seen that. If they aren't paying attention, that doesn't mean I haven't already shown them. I haven't told them in person, really. I'm trying to decide. Maybe I should try and, like, talk to each of them one-on-one about it or something, but I think there are some of them who aren't gonna be super happy about that. I think maybe I should talk to the ones that I am not as sure about. Like, when I say not as sure, I mean the ones who might be okay with it and might be supportive. Maybe I should talk to them about it first. And then move on to, like, the whole group or whatever. And then at least I would know I would have, like, one or two people who would be at least generally supportive or maybe indifferent about it. Yeah, I don't know. There are also a couple of guys who are not administrative assistants, but tend to hang out with us on lunch breaks. And one of them is younger, so I think he might at least be fine with it, or not care, be indifferent, whatever. One of them, what I have heard from other people is that he's fairly conservative, so I'm not totally sure. I know he grew up in a small town, and yeah. I think it's like a bigger deal with him maybe because I'm like, he's got kids. What if one of his sons ends up being gay or non-binary or trans or something? Like, who knows? They're young yet, so who knows? It could happen. And I'm just like, if he is ultra conservative, I don't think he's ultra conservative. The conversations I've had with him, it doesn't seem like it, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm working on it. It is hard. And I honestly think maybe part of the reason I'm not in the best of moods today is because I didn't do anything about that today, and I know I probably should have. I'll be working from home tomorrow, so I won't have to worry about it as much or think about it necessarily. So, we'll see. But yeah, anyway, getting back to it. I'm having a struggle bus kind of day, but I'm working on it, and talking through it has made me realize I need to be more assertive for myself and like more open about it and all of that, because that is probably what is at least partially, what is bringing me down today, and I need to work on that. So, Thursday or Friday, those are my 2 days that I'm going to try and work on it. As long as people are there, it'll make sense, but yeah. Anyway, my apologies. This has gotten longer than I anticipated. Yeah. I appreciate you listening. I hope y'all are having a good June so far and a good Pride Month. This has not been a very good Pride Month recording. But I'll work on that tomorrow a little bit more. It's been a day. So, hopefully my evening will go better. I'm going to try and... I don't know what I'm going to try and do today, but something a little more fun this evening. I don't know what. What can I do that is more fun that doesn't cost any money? Great question. But I'm going to try and do something more fun today, so we'll see what happens. And I'll try and chat at you again soon. Thanks for being here to listen, and this has turned rambly again. You're going to have to forgive me for that. I'm trying real hard. I'll try and be a little more focused tomorrow. And I am going to try and do a recording tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Alright. See you later. Bye.